Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and welcome back to Team Fortress TV's coverage of ESEA Invites Season 28. My name is Cornpop. I'm joined tonight by Looster on production. And for the first time on TFTV, Dr. Shadow Puppet on the cast. Tonight we're going to be taking a dive to the depths of Invites. It's a long-standing rivalry, Black Swan versus TFCrew. Shadow Puppet, why don't we go down these rosters and then we get in the game pretty soon.
All right, I guess I will, I guess I can start with TFCrew here. We've got Split on Scout, Stochastic on the other Scout, KTB Pocket, June on Roamer. It is my understanding we've got Spamfest tonight instead of XBS, rocking the medic class, and Smitty on Demo Man.
Yeah, so Spamfest obviously used to play for TFCrew as Scouts, but she decided not to play this season, and XBS was going to step up instead. But I think she's just subbing in tonight for XBS, not a permanent comeback, although it could be a permanent comeback. I haven't talked to any of the teams. So that's pretty cool. On the other side, though, Black Swan, they're going to have their regular old lineup. Charis is going to be on Medic, Use is the Demoman, Ether and Jay are the Soldiers, and Midas and Tadua are going to be playing Scout. And this is an interesting rivalry because these two teams, they've been facing each other since ESEA Season 26, and in Season 26, Black Swan got 7th, and TFCrew, then known as Sparkle Gang, got 8th. In Season 27, once again, Black Swan got 7th, and once again, TFCrew got 8th. And this time, they're looking to be in a similar situation. They've kind of traded maps back and forth throughout the seasons. Since it's been 2 seasons, they've played each other 4 times. Black Swan has won 3 of those, but they've all been relatively close. So I'm hoping for a really good match this game. And even though Black Swan may be the favorites here, they have made quite a few roster changes from last season.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and predict that TFCrew, probably after a long, hard-fought game, will take this only because with the change from XBS to Spamfest on the Medic class, Spamfest is a player who's been with the Sparkle Gang and now the TFCrew for a long time. Probably a lot of chemistry there. They're great friends. Everybody on the team has been either playing together or hanging out and mumbled together for years and years. So the chemistry, I think, is going to serve them very well, especially on a map like Process, where the teamwork is really important.
Yeah, and so, I mean, this is the exact same lineup that they had last season. Now, it is different classes. Obviously, Spamfest used to be playing Scout, and Split was on Medic. Now, Split is playing Scout, and Spamfest is playing Medic. Meanwhile, Black Swan, they've had 4 new players, I believe. Or is it 3 new players? It's 1, 2, 3 new players, and then 1 class swap as well, Ether, Demo to Soldier. But regardless, we're going live here. You've given the prediction for TFCrew. I still want to give it to Black Swan because they have been more dominant overall. But we'll see, regardless of who wins, it's bound to be a close match. Green text on the screen. Mikey is on Sniper as we're starting off the game. Is he going to stay on that? Or is this a pause?
We have a first thing in the game pause.
Excellent.
Of course, it is 2 minutes behind this, so I think it just happens to be that way.
Yeah. So they didn't actually pause in this this situation, but nothing like just being joked around with when we think we're actually going to go live.
So if I had to put a stronger prediction down, I think this is going to be a 5-3 for TFCrew.
Okay.
And just the reason I think that is that the cohesion that the main caller and Stochastic will bring, plus all of the chemistry, and it's not like they're bad at the DMing either. Stochastic, not the strongest DMing scout, but he brings the smarts to the team. Split, been known to click on people and get those meat shots. KTB, an old player who has always just been a completely dominant soldier in my experience. They just bring a little bit of everything to the game.
Yeah, and one other thing to mention about Black Swan is we don't have this updated on our site, but it looks like Ether is no longer on Black Swan, and they are now playing with Mikey as their main. That is what they say on their ESEA page, and Ether is not even rostered on the team anymore. He's rostered on a team called Black Swan Black, which I don't even know what div that team is playing or if it's real, but regardless, it looks like Mikey is the new main, which makes a grand total of 4 completely new players on this team compared to last season. It's basically not the same Black Swan at all. You've got Charis, who's the same, and then Midas as well, sticking over from last season. But otherwise, with 4 new players and just crazy good synergy from TFCrew, I might actually will have to predict TFCrew as well, despite what history has shown us.
Yeah, the one thing I do think Black Swan really has going for them is that so far this season they have taken out quite a few more games. Some of them against okay teams. They took not games rounds. I mean, they took 2 rounds off my anime list. They took 2 off Velocity Esports on Snakewater, and they even took 1 off Froyo Tech very first thing on CP Cardinal. Whereas it appears that TFCrew has only taken 1 round this entire season. That's against my anime list on Sunshine. So if that is anything to go off of, Black Swan is going to be a team that may have the potential to take some more rounds here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even though it seems like the chemistry is with TFCrew, this has kind of been with them for a while. Even when they first joined Invite, they were still a strong core before that. Like, they'd been playing together for a while. So everybody kind of thought, well, they don't have a whole lot of star, power with them. They haven't proven themselves really, but they got a whole lot of chemistry. Maybe they'll do well. And every season, it's kind of like, they do have a lot of chemistry, but they still just don't manage to play very well against other top teams. So it's really hard to call at this point between Black Swan and TFCrew. I'd like to see a TFCrew win just to sort of beat the streak. But, either way, I'd rather have a really close game. And one other thing to mention about these 2 teams, it is the last 2 teams without a single win in Invite. So after tonight, we will have a definitive bottom of the scoreboard. Only 1 team has never won throughout the whole season so far. And it'll be one of these 2 guys. I hope this pause isn't anything technical, though, because it is taking quite a long time. Usually if it's just somebody drops, they can get right back in real quick. It's not too bad. But at the moment, it seems like it has been a fairly serious issue, just because they've been paused for so long. So I hope that's not the case. But obviously, there's nothing we can really do to figure that out. I guess we could message the players if they happen to be online.
I am doing that right now.
Excellent. So hopefully we'll get an update for you guys on what the status of this match is. If the players don't respond, then hopefully that means they've already started. Oh, no. Pauses are real time. Or in the sense that they are paused right now.
Yes. So Stochastic says that 1 of the 6 black players has crashed. And I am chatting with Mikey right now to see who that is. All right. It looks like it is Mikey, because Mikey is not in game.
Well, that would let us know. Mikey choosing to play Sniper on this middle point. It's not the worst middle point for Sniper. In fact, it's probably one of the better ones. Still not something you see very often. Sniper to mid is generally not good. But if you hit really good shots, I mean, if you're consistent enough, if you show up and you get 3 headshots, then absolutely that's worth it. But it all depends on how many heads you can tap on before somebody finally rushes you down.
Yeah, Sniper can, with the super long sightlines, can really exert some dominance. Of course, they are still in spawn, so it's possible that he just hasn't switched off yet.
Yeah.
But it also would not shock me. I don't know what Mikey's sniping abilities are. This would be the first time I've seen him snipe in an invite setting. But the ability to shut down an entire lane if you can hit those shots pretty much means that your team can have control over whichever side of the map they want to have.
Yeah, it can be pretty nice. And the question, even if Mikey's not the best sniper, because TFCrew kind of have a losing streak against this team, they might give the respect to Mikey regardless of if he's hitting his shots or not. So even the sniper's just staring at a wall. If the other team knows who's a sniper and they're purposefully avoiding him, they're not going in these sight lines, he's still, contributing to the battle, even if he's not getting kills. As you said, he's shutting down sight lines. Of course, if TFCrew are just like, it's Mikey, he's not going to hit us, and they just walk through the sight lines and don't get shot anyways, then you basically don't have a 6th player on your team. But, I mean, who knows? Hopefully he'll be able to hit his shots if that is the case, if there's no respect being shown by TFCrew.
But at the same time, you could also use the sniper kind of as a bait where you put him in the back. And I know that certain teams, and I think TFCrew would be susceptible to this, are very likely to just dive bomb on the sniper to not let them get any of those sniping shots and that damage down. That can put your team pretty far out of position if not done correctly and carefully. And maybe that is the effect that Six Black is going for.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can run a sniper to mid, but generally most of them aren't effective. It's not something we see very often, and the reason of that is just generally it doesn't work. But there's a lot of interesting ways you can make it work. If you want to go like way old school, you can go to like I-55 Nerd Rage, who brought like Flippy. That was the team, right? Who brought Flippy to mid pretty much all the time on sniper. And if you're as good as that, then absolutely bring sniper to mid, and it's going to work pretty well for you. I don't know if Mikey's quite at that level, but hopefully he'll be able to show some sort of sign of that.
Yeah, the other problem with a sniper to mid is that even if you do in the mid, it leaves you with one class that maybe, if it's not a clean mid fight, say the other team just backs out, or say that it's scrappy, you win, and now you want to start putting pressure onto second. Sniper is not the kind of class that can really exert good pressure on second, so you might have to leave it back to do the cap, in which case it's only a ×1 cap, and may allow on a map like Process where the walking distance from spawn to second is not really that long. It may allow TFCrew to push back out into second before any sort of real pressure or real presence can be put down. That's something you really do have to be careful about, and it's the reason that you tend to see a soldier, for instance, run sniper instead of a scout, because scouts are just so good. To mid,
Yeah, yeah, no, I completely agree. And another thing you kind of have to be worried about if you're if you're doing that sort of strategy, if you have to leave your sniper to cap, especially on a map like Process, where you can kind of have players hiding either in sewer or in IT. If somebody goes back to try to fight, if your team pushes into second and you've only left a sniper to cap the middle point, and you send somebody back to fight that sniper, chances are that person's going to win in a 1v1 against the sniper, whether it's a scout or a soldier, even probably a demo if he happens to be in position to stop that cap. And then you're in a whole heap of trouble. If a scout's behind you just back capping points, you are in panic mode trying to make sure that he doesn't get all the way to last, try to stop him without losing too much ground up front. It's a bad situation to be in. So there's a lot of risks when running sniper to mid, but again, it's all if he hits those shots and if he can shut down the sight lines.
I just received another brief update here. Stochastic informs me that the player is restarting his router, which, depending on how much experience with restarting routers you have, I know that if he's got a Comcast router, it takes like 10 minutes to reboot it. I'm not sure why, but it does.
Well, we might just go to music in that case, because I think we've kind of delved into sniper to mid as much as we possibly can, Shadow Puppet. And yeah, so
you don't want to hear a 10-page dissertation on the nature of angles at mid fights?
we'll start writing the essay on why sniper to mid, the pros and cons, while you listen to some sweet tunes. We'll keep you updated though. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have just gotten word that the 6th player, Mikey, has gotten back into the server, and we are just waiting for them to unpause, so it should be any second now. Sorry for the delays, obviously nothing we could have done there, it's just technical issues. They happen in esports, so if you are just joining us, you've missed absolutely nothing because they're just doing their rollouts now. Coming out of the first mid-fight as we have unpaused. And it is TFCrew versus Black Swan. Here we go. Smitty and Use getting here around the same time. A little faster maybe from Smitty. Both going to be taking that pack. June bombing up on a Use. Gets that early first rocket. Trying to get a second one, but not going to be able to find it. Bombed on by Jay. Will get that first frag onto June. So that's one down early on the side of TFCrew. Might be getting aggressive as well. It's a player that did disconnect sometime in here. Rocket Wizard trying to get the frag on Minus, but will end up getting taken down. Over on seconds where the fighting's happening. Spamfest just trying to stay alive. Dodging and juking from Use, who's trying to hit one pipe to finish off this medic. J bombs in, but the dodging from Spamfest is going so well. Just needs to survive one more rocket. Not gonna happen though. Does get taken down. Split as well, cleaned up by Tadawa. So that will be a Black Swan mid.
So mid there, kind of interesting. They had June jump up immediately. She got destroyed. Had to back down, and then they lost all presence on the top. It looks like they're coming back in here mid-fight.
Yeah, Sakasa going down really early, though. That might just tell them to back off. It looks like it will. Smitty and June all getting back out there. So not a full committal on that fight.
No, but they have to go for that med there. They have to try to either convert a pick or something.
So now they're looking at this second point. They've gotten in Jay, although not really convincingly. Gonna back off these two, and the rest of the team will walk through that choke point. So here they come now. You can tell they want to pop that overcharge off. Jay has done a big bomb down on a Smitty. Got some damage down, but just working his way in behind. Tadawa and Rocket Wizard both going to end up trading. Midas now trying to take down Split as Split is trying to get some force down or something, but he's really not hitting his shots. Now they're bombing around Charis, and they will get that frag onto the medic. There goes the medic, and that's going to be June getting that one. And Midas as well did end up dying in the midst of that, so I believe it's just you still alive for Black Swan.
Yep, they're looking around for some for the cleanup frags, and then they're gonna start moving forward. That's when that is when Mikey went down.
Yes.
Our control point is being captured.
The jump in there from Jay was kind of an interesting choice. It really disorganized Black in a really bad way, allowing TFCrew to kind of keep together and move forward and get those picks one at a time until June jumped forward and got cherries. We see they have Uber now coming around the corner, taking some nice, good height here.
The control point is being captured.
Yep, probably just going to get the second point relatively for free. TFCrew are going to be using this to get more aggressive onto the last point. Spamfest obviously with that 100% Uber charge. Only about 65 coming out from Charis, so here they are already getting to this last point. There is a heavy pop Uber charge off now, getting a lot of control of this right-hand side. Going to be able to jump forward with Rocket Wizard, but he's slammed down to the ground. It's a nice rocket to Charis, but is that going to be enough? Nobody really there for the follow-up. June's now going to force Charis back on that spawn, but all of his team has died around him, and there we go. That's going to be a successful hold from 6 Lack.
Well, the problem there was that TFCrew decided on a door 5 push, which with the heavy hiding back in the opposite corner and all the enemy team just able to spam them back, it just meant they got no space, took no kills, got no objectives with their Uber, and just had to back out with no one even really going low. So I wish they had done a little bit more scouting and chosen their vector a little better for their last push.
Oh, and
here comes
the
the counter Uber.
Yeah, all the way through IT. They wanted to be able to get something with this other than space, but it doesn't look like they're going to get anything at all. They've managed to force everybody out on the side of TFCrew, but with getting no kills at all, it's just going to be leapfrogged back in on the mid.
Now, the classic leapfrog situation. It looks like Jay has no interest in doing any of that, but not able to do much about it. And now they're one down against 100% Uber. This might be an opportunity for TFCrew to not have to pop here if they're careful.
That is the goal, walking in this middle point. Of course, Black Swan would love to get a pop out of Spamfest, but looks like after that first soldier went down, they don't want to commit any more players, don't want to lose any more. So backing off to second fairly safely there, and TFCrew in on the second point. Not halting with the aggression at all already here, fighting on second.
No, they absolutely have to use this here. They have to try to get the med. It looks like Charisse is too far back, but 2 points for not having to pop puts them in a much better position than they would have been otherwise. So they were able to successfully break that leapfrog, which I commend them for. Let's see if they can choose a better angle to push though. Uber v. Uber.
They're choosing a different one over on the left-hand side. We'll get the pop out of the Charles very easily there. So gonna just get that, and Smitty going down is not what you want to see. Great job by Mikey to get that one, and Midas as well cleaning up onto June. So that is 2 players down on the side of TFCrew. They've completely halted with their aggression.
Our control point is being captured.
Good job on the rest of TFCrew for getting out there. It looks like they're just kind of going to reset Uber here. With TFCrew holding mid. Maybe 6 Black wants to try to get in here, but this is a really hard choke to push with the Demoman who's up.
Rocket Wizard are just going to be bombing in, trying to get some damage on the medic, but just eat some stickies from use.
Yeah, somebody must have called that somebody was low. Otherwise, I'm not sure why he would have done that. The trade for Mikey. It's appropriate, acceptable there to try to get a counter trade.
Didn't really look too promising for him, but, you know, why not just sack in? TFCrew's kind of making some space off of it, though. June's getting a little bit aggressive here. Tato as well there to match him, though. And Jay will... Oh, it looks like Jay's going to get the frag onto June, who is over in sewer, so she's going to get taken down. And the rest of 6 Lock are going to be sort of poking into the middle point, but we're kind of back in the stalemate situation there, Dr. Shadow Puppet.
Yeah, I want to see just a little bit more intelligent play from some of these soldier bombs and choosing your angles a little bit better on the form of TFCrew. It feels like they could have done a lot more there with their 1-player advantage. Oh, excellent shot there.
I don't know if that hit the wall. I think that was an air shot, though. We're gonna call it an air shot for his sake. Throwing another one, though. Rocket Wizard can't follow it up with a nice bomb, unfortunately.
It's so hard to bomb in on this point. There's just not great opportunity. You get seen super early. Just kind of a hard push on either side, really. Somebody's gonna have to get an advantage.
Still 0-0 on that scoreboard, so as we expected, these 2 teams very close, neck and neck. TFCrew seemingly been on top for the most of this. They've kind of been the ones holding the middle points, getting a little bit more aggressive and winning the fights a little bit better. They've had more opportunities to push last. Of course, not able to capitalize off either of those just yet, but somewhat in the driver's seat at the moment of this game, but not able to convert yet. They are getting aggressive in IT now, though, and this could be big for them. Mike's getting aggressive to try to match that, and Jay as well, just putting some pressure onto them. June will go down in here, so making it a 5v6.
That's really rough. You don't want to lose your player first here when you're holding mid. Not in that kind of situation where they're not even remotely able to trade anything for it. Here comes the counter bomb. See if it gets anything done. Whole bunch of nothing. Looks like we're just going to reset again.
It's the main problem with that bomb from Jay, is that he missed all of his rockets. He'll give you to hit a few more rockets.
Oh, Split goes down. Split really did not want to go down here because June is coming back up on Sniper, and they wanted everybody who's available. I really was interested in this June Sniper, but now I'm not sure it's so good. Oh, never mind.
Wheel going down on Mikey, and Midas as well gets taken down by Rocket Wizard. So that's 2 picks in the favor of TFCrew. They're going to be looking forward to get in. Rocket Wizard will go down. Sarcastic as well. Jay making this a 4-on-4, trading it immediately back over in IT. That was an excellent job by him to be able to win that fight against the 2 players. Smitty's very low as well. Spamfest not healing him up just yet. So this is, with Jay going down, it's going to continue to be a stalemate situation. But good job from Black Swan to not be able to just get rolled there.
Right, that was a very key moment where they were able to defend IT. Unfortunately, they continued trading, and when you're in the situation that Black Swan is in, trading is not what you want to be doing. Your spawns are later, and you're just giving space to the red team.
They're really banking on the sniper that was poking in through sewers. They traded Split's life for it, so, I mean, that's a scout down, not a huge deal. June's still alive to try to hit some shots.
Right. This is the kind of the situation we saw earlier where your flank is just weaker when you have a sniper who's coming from the scout class, and they really need to make something happen with it. If you're going to trade a scout, which is all of your pushing power in modern TF2, here comes a bomb. That's not going to get much. KTB deciding that he's just going to take his own life. It's
classy of him. Just trade it, making it a 5-on-5 once again.
Well, he was in there bombing the tree and just hit the ground. Hard-blued it.
They'll still haven't moved from this point. That round clock's going to start being a factor if we don't see things moving pretty soon here. Tato has made his way over into IT. Smitty, the one going to be going down to Midas, who just ran through choke, found the frag on the weak player, and now they've sort of worked in a couple more players. Tato was getting aggressive here. Midas as well, once again. J-bombed it from IT, and yes, Spamfest getting forced there. as well as dropping a few players. This is not good at all. He kept June alive for maybe a hero shot, but not a chance. Yu shuts that down, and it's just Stochastic Spamfest running all the way back. They're going to have to go to last. They'll get Smitty off that respawn, but still, great job by Black Swan.
This is the problem with that weakened flank there. June really wasn't able to hit any shots with the angles that she was working with, and now we see Therese 100% Uber Spamfest trying to get it 40%. Split rocking that that 7th player, but I'm not sure it's going to get up in time.
Here comes the Ubercharge on the left-hand side. Force everybody to be back in a spawn. It is a level 1 sentry gun, as you mentioned, being set up. Mikey from up top is going to be able to focus down that Dome Man. Hits him off the roof. Great job throwing back down to the ground. Smitty gets cleaned up. That's the only frag so far. Tador with a lot of point time. There goes the reflux from June, getting that pipe kill onto the capping scout. Another bomb in from Jay, just trying to get the point time, and it will be enough. 1-0 for Black Swan.
As it turns out, you've got to stand on the point. And unfortunately, sentry guns aren't good at doing that.
Nope, not the most mobile of 7th players that you could make.
It was a good attempt at a defense, though. I wish they had converted a few of those low players, but as it is, they're coming in for another mid.
TFCrew a lot faster so far in this first mid. Not sure what was really happening with Use if you beef that super hardcore, but it doesn't really matter. They're still getting a lot of damage down. We're trading 1-for-1. Mikey June, Tatawa now going to trade with Stochastic. It's back and forth, making it a 4-on-4 now. Midas kind of running across that point, being bombed on by Rocket Wizard, though. We'll be trading some rockets with Jay up top. Jay going to just jump back down. And Therese is alive, but in a little bit of trouble. Has to back off through choke. Just trying to survive with Jay, and it looks like they will get the medic out. Will Jay be able to get out as well? That's the question, or at least take somebody with him. Looks like he's fine.
Yeah, 6 Black they were a good 3 seconds slower and took so much damage coming in through choke. Their Demo Man was less than a third health, almost that entire fight. That's the kind of thing that I like to see from TFCrew. Well executed rollout, took that advantage early, didn't overdo it, just spammed down and got the kills.
June gonna bomb in, not really finding anything though. A little bit of damage on the Charis, so that's something, but not enough for the force or anything, so it's gonna be able to heal right back up. Midas is in and gets the frag on a Stochastic before trading. So, I mean, not terrible. Gonna open things up for Mikey to try to jump in through choke, get some damage down onto Smitty, and the Ubercharge is gonna pop on out. They have the numbers advantage. They want to take this fight. It's not gone super well for them. They just got the trade out of Spamfest, so it's not a disaster either. And J and IT gonna be lurking, but spotted out. Mikey's the one who bombs in through choke, gets the frag on a Smitty, but does die for it as well. June shot out of the sky by Tatawa, so that's just trades going back and forth, back and forth. You gotta watch out for Rocket Wizard KTB over in the enemy team. Super Midas looking for him, though. Does he know he's back there? That's the question.
I don't think they know about KTV here. This is the kind of situation where he accepts. He's going to try to get in there, try to take out Therese. Oh, he gets discovered!
He will win that fight, though. It ends up being a trade. It's not the end of the world by Rocket Wizard, but not exactly who's hopeful.
Yeah. TFCrew, unfortunately, didn't have any healthy, fully buffed, good scouts up in the choke during that mid defense, and it really prevented them from being able to trade in on the soldiers who were coming in. That's the kind of play that I think really is going to let 6 Black continue to take rounds if they keep doing this. You have to have those scouts buffed. You have to have them with your combo. You have to have them ready to trade during the transition period after an Uber. And TFCrew just didn't have. Well, one scout was down, the other scout was low and had to be back. Which is a shame, because their Uber was better. They had a really good Uber. If they had been able to get a scout up closer and able to deny those soldiers from taking the rock, that might have been a very different fight for them. But as it was, Split, super low. And Stochastic, I think, was just spawning and coming back. It's good to keep trap there.
They're gonna get one, yeah. Now they sack and Rocket Wizard almost got used, actually. He's very little HP, has to run back to the back. Split, taking this opportunity to run straight through the choke. Use hasn't fully healed just yet and will end up dying right as that Ubercharge gets popped off. Not having your donut here is gonna be a huge deal. TFCrew looking like they want to stick in with this fight. See it out to the end. Split is pushing aggressively onto Jay. Jay not really hitting anything he needs to. Midas was on Sniper and wasn't able to hit anything at all before finally getting shut down by Stochastic. Mikey's still getting a little bit aggressive. Gonna pay for that as Smitty hits him with the stickies. And that's gonna be all of Black Swan forced out of that middle point.
That was very, very well executed. Stochastic made the call that one of the 6 Black players was super low. And so Split just pushes in, had the buff, took space with the low player that had to back out, and really took advantage of the map and took advantage of their health advantage. Now, unfortunately, they're bleeding through. Spamfest has got to get out here and hopefully keep as many players alive as possible.
There is the yin to the yang. You have a really well executed push, and then you do that into the enemy team second. Now Spamfest is in a whole bunch of trouble.
This is that's just completely falling apart. They didn't take a moment to regroup. They didn't really kill Charisse, and they didn't have that big of a player advantage, so I'm not sure why they're being that aggressive into second, and it really didn't pay off for them, as we can see now. With 6 black, 100% Uber, Spamfest not even spawned yet. This is not looking like a great round unless June can really get something here.
Yeah, it's going to be 100% Uber charge advantage for Charisse. There goes June shuts it down. Oh, with the backstab. I didn't even see that one coming just as it happened. I saw the spy right there. And that was going to be a very successful spy play. Exactly what June wanted, and she's going to be happy with that. Running back to spawn.
Yeah, they made Split go on Sniper, making them think that was probably June on Sniper, leaving her free to do some spy shenanigans. That's kind of a bold play, because if it gets discovered, then you're down to fragging classes and they'll just win. But it worked out for them.
Yeah, really well executed by them. So now they're in a position where they should be able to push out of last. They're not out of the clear yet. They got to watch out for some back cap shenanigans. Now, nobody on Black Swan seemingly going to go for that. They have a couple of players there, but it looks like they're just going to try to spam this out. If they can get the pop out of Spamfest, that would be good for them. And of course, this is a difficult points to dry push out of. But
yeah, this
we'll
is
see how it goes.
such a hard push. Because if you pop first, then you're going to lose the round. But you also can't dry push this. They pop first, but they're not even. I don't think they're going to be able to convert anything off it. Now they're holding second with an Uber disadvantage.
And that's exactly why that's such a difficult point to push out of. Like, even if you have the Uber charge advantage when they have all 6 alive, you have to use Uber charge. Now it's going to get leapfrogged, and they're in a really dangerous situation.
They need to set KTV up for a hero bomb, get that pop, and just leave. They'll have another opportunity with another Uber advantage, but unfortunately they weren't able to convert that. You almost have to dry push out of process second, and that's so hard. Or onto process second. And that's
but
so hard.
Black Swan popped into the second point. Used the Uber charge to get that second, so they're not going to have it to push in the last. And that works out great for TFCrew, because now they can just sort of sit back, not be worried about an Uber charge in their face. They know it's going to be even, and they can set up a strong defense.
Here's the question. Do they try this again? Do they run the risk, or do they go for a pick class of some kind? It looks like nobody's switching. There's the sack on the spam.
No!
Oh, no!
Mikey, what a rocket. Spamfest just happened to be crossing in that corridor, and it was just enough damage to direct hit drop the medic. I believe they were going for the push out. This surely will be a Black Swan round. Coming in this left-hand side, the one door coming in. June goes down very early, pop the Uber charge off, split on Sniper, force back into spawn. There is stochastic in the back lines they gotta watch out for, but now Tadwa capping off on that point. They have to jump on it, but they just can't. That's gonna be 2-0.
I'm not sure what Spamfest was doing that got her killed that way, and I was just thinking to myself, maybe I'll commend Spamfest for her medic play this round, but that's the kind of mistake you just can't be making. You can't be in those spam lanes when you're that low.
June gonna steal the pack, and another fast bomb from Jake, trying to get it on Smitty, but not gonna work at all in this next mid-fight. Going right underway. Rocket Wizard taking a whole lot of damage on the point, waiting for an arrow from his medic. Looks like he will be able to get it eventually. There you go, finally. Now the rest of the mid-fight can continue, and it'll be Smitty getting cleaned up by Tadwa, who's aggressive on this right-hand side, trades it. Oh, Split gets that frag onto him. Now there's only a couple of Black Swan players still here and healthy. Use is one of them, but he's pretty far low. Now Midas is pressuring in onto June, bombing by Jay, thrown down to the ground though, and will be able to just surf on that rock, surrounded by enemies, but still somehow living, kills himself as he tries to get that frag onto Split. Regardless though, this will be a Black Swan mid as that final pistol kill comes out on a Split.
Something I couldn't help but notice was that Spamfest was consistently 15 to 20% behind on Uber charge than Charisse, which doesn't necessarily mean that she was healing less, but it's a really good indication that's actually what was going on. The TFCrew was just not able to put those heals down. ATB spent forever with no health, then Split was low. The heals weren't coming out. I have to wonder if Spamfest is maybe a little tilted after what happened last round.
I think I would be. That was a big mistake from her, and that gets in your head, you know, especially as a medic player. It's one of those classes where it can really affect your mental state, and it's really important that you don't let it get to you like that. So
yeah.
We'll see. Black Swan pressuring in on this choke point. I mean, they want to be able to get in here if they can, but of course, It's a difficult situation. Rocket Wizard eating a big fight from Use, though. Not bad at all. Gonna trade it over in IT, though. Midas trading. After June gets that one in Split as well, gets one on a Mikey. The Ubercharges were exchanged over in Choke, and it's just Tadawa being the recipient of that heal beam on Charisse, and they're just going to be backing off. They don't want any part of this TFCrew aggression, who are just forcing them out of that middle point.
But TFCrew has to start converting some picks or push Six Black out, because Six Black has the closer spawn. They have the spawn advantage here. They may just have to cap the point and lead. I'm not entirely certain what their plan is going to be with Mikey.
Oh, Mikey! Sorry, he just got a crazy shot on Smitty in the air shot, though. Very nicely done. And with that, Black Swan will work their way in, but Charisse thrown up in the air. Won't be able to get taken down, though. Rocket Wizard's not able to convert off that.
That was an important pick. They threw away a lot of players to try to get that. Rocket Wizard's the only person that died, but it puts them at kind of a health disadvantage, and now they're down 2 players for this push.
Mikey not going to be able to get taken down by June. Midas getting aggressive as well on the second point. And TFCrew don't have really anything to stand on here. They're just backing off. 90% overcharge, though, so they'll hold.
The bleeding keeps happening. I mean, we see 6 players up on the scoreboard, but there is a walking time. Oh, very, very close onto both the Demo Man and the Medic from Six Black. Oof. Charisse hold onto that Uber, but Spamfest didn't.
Okay. I mean, they popped here on seconds. Now Black Swan are going to be able to run in, but the Overcharge is already fading. They do have the player advantage, though. Oh, trading back and forth. Going to be a 4-on-4 at the moment. Just killing the players as they respawn immediately. I think Black Swan probably won't get this. However, they are committing to it on this left-hand side. Smitty trades from Midas. Now there's a whole bunch of points time, and that's going to be it. This is a 3-0 half.
They spent so much health and so much positioning trying to do pop them on second, or pop Six Black on second. And it left them with not a whole lot to work with once they were falling back. The Demo Man in Smitty was denying rollout, denying door 2, getting a lot of damage down, but unfortunately, it was just Midas and Tadawa run in, worked together really well, grabbed a couple of picks, got another couple players low, then they just left. And that left TFCrew in such a state of disarray that they couldn't even regroup. They were super low. Spamfest was trying to get those heals out, but nothing was working. And they just converted all those picks. It really seems like Six Black is playing just a different game than TFCrew, where TFCrew always seems to be one down. They always seem to have a little bit less health. Their buffs don't seem to be coming out as well, and just nothing they're doing is as clean or working as well, which is a huge shame, I think.
And it's weird, right? Because at the start of this, it was TFCrew who were the ones who were getting all the opportunities. You know, in the first round, it was TFCrew push last and they fail, and then they push last again and they fail, and finally Black Swan were able to take it coast to coast, bring it all the way back, get the first, second, and then third round on the board as well. But as the game started, it really looked like TFCrew were in control of this game, and they've really let it slip away from them. I do want to mention, I mean, obviously Mikey disconnected in that first round. That might have been part of it, but I mean, TFCrew were dominant for quite a while after Mikey got back on the server. So, I don't know. Something has happened to TFCrew.
Well, when you're playing a game of TF2 as a team, you have your main caller and all that other stuff, there comes this moment in your fights where something goes your way. You get a good pick, they fail at bomb, something happens where you have this momentary minor advantage. And we really saw that that one time where one of the Six Black soldiers got super low and Split just pushed in, and they just took advantage of that momentary small advantage. The problem TFCrew is having is not in seizing advantage of those little tiny micro advantages, is not in knowing when to push appropriately. It's in answering the question, now what? And TFCrew doesn't have the good answer to that. They were able to take second, had that gigantic Uber advantage, and the question then is, now what do we do? And their answer was push door 5 where none of their team is, pop early, lose our Uber before we get onto them, and everybody dies. Which is, you know, in the grand scheme of things, not a great answer to that question. And it really seems to me that that's the problem TFCrew is having this game. They're doing the trades decently. Their mids have been fine. I think they've won 2 of the 3 mids. Especially after that first mid, which was really rough with losing June 1st. They're abating their soldier aggression just a little bit. They're trading the soldiers a little bit better, keeping height control, and doing a lot of damage and pushing Six Black out over and over and over again. But there's there's just this lack of what next from them, and I want to see if they can really swing that back in this next half. But I know psychologically going into a half down 3 rounds, that's not an easy thing to do.
Not at all. We can take a look at the stats really quick here before we go into the second half. And one player immediately sticks out to me as I'm looking at these numbers. Tatawa not only topping the server with 21 kills, but backing it up with only 5 deaths. That's a KD ratio of over 4. 4 times as many kills as you're getting over your death. That's a crazy amount. And it's not like it's small numbers either. 21 is nothing to laugh at. Tatawa, I mean, I haven't been noticing him too much in this match, and he hasn't been putting out like a ton of damage, although, you know, the long pause kind of nullifies all of these damage stats, but 21 frags, he's been completely putting in the work for his team.
Yeah, and the curious bit is that Tato has not taken the heals, is staying away from the combo, and still putting up those numbers. He's doing good cleanup work. He's not being a drag down on his team whatsoever. Whereas it seems like the scouting duo from TFCrew, they have very similar quantities of heals. I don't see any one group being dominant or favored over the other. So do they have a pocket scout? I'm just not sure exactly what's going on.
Changes need to be made for TFCrew as they're coming into the second half here. They are down 3-0 to Black Swan. They have opted to come very slow to mid. That's not going to be a great start to them. We'll see if they can convert this mid anyways. Smitty taking a lot of early damage though, and that's going to be a direct result of the fact they were so low here. They managed to get KTB and damage onto Chars, but not going to be enough to kill him. Sheriff is actually the one coming out on top of that exchange, getting the frag on a KTB. Smitty as well does get taken down. That leaves only 4 left alive for TFCrew, and they're already on second.
Hughes living with 5 health. That's kind of a big deal. TFCrew now down 2 players. There's an opportunity here for Six Black just to continue and roll in. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, already in here. You see June wants to be able to get the frag on the demo, and he will be able to get that one. So great job from June. She's putting a lot of work so far. Jay now in a 1-1 against Sarcastic will be able to win that one. And Spamfest in a lot of trouble. Only split by the side of the medic, and they aren't going to be able to get the force out of Charis. Still holding on here. And with 76 HP, gonna be just fine to back off, let the scouts deal with these threats. Only Spamfest left alive. The 6th point gonna be going in favor of Black Swan and TFCrew. This isn't the response they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, why would you need to pop when your entire team has just destroyed TFCrew? The nice flank from Jay, getting behind, killing 2 people. That's an excellent job from a roamer. And then losing June super early. I know she got the trade onto the Demo Man, but at that point in time, the Demo Man's no longer really worth the time.
Here we come, popping in as well. 50% advantage as they're coming forward here. The gun gonna get the frag onto the Demo Man, though. That is critical with the Tadball also going down. This was the disaster from the push from the start, and TFCrew are laughing at that result.
That was a much better showing from them. It looks like they kind of strengthen their resolve. KTB sticking with the medic, doing a lot of good work there. That's what I like to see. Six Black bleeding a little bit, but TFCrew really taking advantage of their player advantage. Do we have another pause? We do have another pause. TFCrew really taking advantage of their player numbers and pushing in, converting a couple picks, taking the point. Now they got 100% Uber. Cherise has 50%. This is their opportunity.
Yeah, they can totally take this coast to coast. Maybe not all off this one advantage, but regardless, with the decently sized advantage that it is, a very short pause, which is lucky for us, and the 2-player advantage, at least for a little while longer. This midpoint should be theirs as they're looking to get forward into it. They can come in through IT, come in through choke, and you can tell with only 4 alive, there's really not enough bodies on the side of Six Black to contest there.
No, and I like that TFCrew is not being super aggressive here. They know the spawns are coming very soon. They know the spawns are going to spawn right next to where where they are playing. Oh, they are going to push forward to this Uber. I'm not convinced this is the right move.
Definitely not. They've already lost 2 players. June and Rocket Wizard both getting cleaned up, and there's Spamfest as well. The medic getting taken down by Jay. It's a second in this fight, and you can see Sarcastic and Smitty on the run. And Mikey wanting to get this cleanup, not going to be able to find either of them yet, but Excellent job by Black Swan to be able to win that fight, and as you said, kind of a sloppy play from TFCrew, a little overexcited.
Like, I know they only have 20 minutes to win 4 rounds without bleeding anything. I know that they're in a hurry, but forcing a fight like that when you have no advantage whatsoever and the enemy players are spawning right there, I'm not sure about that.
Now they're fighting on their own second TFCrew are. Rocket Wizard trying to take down Jay before he can cause too much damage. Jay is in, but missing those rockets just a little bit too hard there. Split gets the final frag onto him, making it a 4-on-4 still for a second, but TFCrew with such little HP, they have to back off of their last point, hold on to their medic.
Yeah, I'm glad that Spamfest lived here. That is an opportunity for her to get Uber. Maybe. Looks like Sixpack is actually just going to push. This is the lag out of Mikey. Mid Uber. That's not a great time.
Used with a really big rocket or pikey there on a Smitty. A lot of point time to back that up as well, but unfortunately his whole team's kind of dying around him as well as he died a little bit after that air shot. So Midas cleaned up as well. TFCrew, despite being air shotted on, they're doing okay here.
Yeah, I mean, Mikey just lagged out mid Uber, which is not a great time. He took the Uber and then immediately lagged out, blocking the door. That would have been a really good Uber for them if that hadn't happened. Spamfest showing Therese that she's not the only combat medic.
There goes Jay trying to get a trade off. Trades with June, so soldier for a soldier, not too bad. And again, it's 5-on-5 with such huge weird charge advantage in favor of Spamfest. It looks like TFCrew are going to be able to take this fairly easily. 6 lock, they don't want to contest with the full Uber charge when they're only at 60.
They need to cap the damn point. Don't push until you cap. I know you're going to give Charisse Uber. But if they just try to fight this 4v5 or 5v6, it's not going to work out for them. Convert a pick here. Oh, but, Jay takes out Rocket Wizard. They can continue to try to put some pressure down here, but unfortunately they're not converting a pick. They're not getting an advantage, and they're just going to stalemate again. Yeah,
Rocket Wizard going down there's not the end of the world because they can still hold on to this middle point with even Uber charges. We might have to face a sack or something. You can see Jay's getting aggressive in that IT, but they're going to be okay sitting on that middle point. Now they have their players back respawned with them, and now they're going to be able to buff people up. They're not in a bad position to get this round. The problem is that they need to get 3 or, best case scenario, 4 rounds, and there's not a ton of time left.
No, let's see. This is the 1/2. I don't know exactly how much time we got left. I don't have it on my scoreboard.
I think like 24 minutes. 24 minutes.
No, they got probably less than that. Probably more like 20. But the point is that, like, TFCrew is just not making anything happen. They're not in the driver's seat here. It looks like they accidentally got mid, and now they don't know what to do with it. They trade 2 for 1.
Not ideal.
Well, 1 for 1, but Split was already down. And they're just going to have to give it up to Six Black. They have the spawn advantage, TFCrew does, but what are they going to be able to do with it here? Spamfest pops, but her players are super low. I like the Uber better for Six Black. Even though they are a player down, they can take some height. All right, Jay bleeding there, not great. TFCrew has an opportunity to win this cleanup here. They got to get heals on Stochastic. They have to start moving forward with their medic. That's exactly what they're going to do here. I like this a lot. They have both their scouts. Just heal your scouts and push forward.
Fox One once again lost their 6th player, so they're only playing with 5 at the moment. Regardless, I mean, they are going to get Cheris out with only about 14 HP.
How does Charisse live in these situations?
I have no idea. But regardless, I mean, he's back alive. Mikey as well is back and alive, so that's nice for him. But the push is coming in, and that's not great if you're a Black Swan fan. Split is going to get cleaned up by Tatawa, and that will halt any sort of a push that was about to go down. They've backed off on the second point. You can't really push out here if you're Black Swan, but regardless, they've stopped the aggression. And they've got Mikey in for a force. All right. That's not bad at all for a bombing roamer.
I don't think Spamfest needed a pop there. I was on her screen. I think that's kind of a mistake. Maybe she's a little tilted. Maybe she's a little on edge. But now Charisse has 100% Uber. And TFCrew has yet to take a round. The clock is wearing thin.
You have June up on Sniper trying to take a couple of shots over in sewers. If you can hit something there, that would be ideal for her. But hasn't really hit the shot yet. And taking too much damage, she's going to back off. 20 HP, doesn't want to fight that anymore. Second point going in favor of Black Swan, and when you don't have Uber Charge, that's difficult. But the important thing there is that Charge didn't have to pop to get that second point. They will now be able to pop for the midpoint, and TFCrew have to run for the hills, just back off as fast as they can, and they aren't going to lose any players here. So Black Swan maybe didn't need to pop there, at least not that early. But they get the midpoint anyways.
They were afraid of the June sniper, who wasn't even in position yet, but June, the presence and the threat, I think, is enough. Spamfest wants to use this Uber here. KTB going down just at the very beginning of an Uber. Just not a great time to be trading.
Oh, Midas actually just got the frag down on the Spamfest, and Smitty as well getting taken down by Mikey. Mikey, 1v1 split now, needs to be able to win this fight for his team. There's only 3 players alive on TFCrew, so despite not securing the frag, TFCrew are going to have to concede that second point.
Yeah.
Alert. The control point is
Being capped off now, it's about 70%, 60% ad in favor of Therese, and they're going to have this to use in the last point. Just got to play this not dumb. They need to keep every player alive before they get to that 100%. 90 now from Therese. And there are 6 alive on TFCrew, but this shouldn't be too big of a deal. They're trying to get pressure early on the side of TFCrew, and they're going to be met with a pop into this left-hand side. Sarcastic is up in that top area, taking a whole bunch of damage, won't be able to get healed back up, so that's the heavy down immediately. That's a good pick. Need to be able to follow that up on the side of Black Swan, get June as well. 3 down on the side of TFCrew. His split also gets cleaned up. They need to get some point time now. Rocket Wizard very low, will be cleaned up by Tatawa. Use gets one on the Spamfest, and this is all Black Swan. Take the point.
Such a well-executed Uber. Lead with your demo man going through door 3. That gives you a lot of options with which way to go. You know TFCrew loves to off-class, and indeed, Sarcastic on that heavy class took so much damage so early. They took height advantage, they just converted the picks. They knew they didn't have to have an Uber to worry about on Spamfest. Just really well executed. Textbook classic Uber fight.
And this next mid fight gonna be going down. It is Jay, the first frag to be cleaned up, but trading for Smitty's not bad at all. That's a demo man down for your the enemy team. June with a great bomb on to Charis, though. June will die for that, but still, being able to get that frag for her is really important. Now if they can keep Spamfest alive, oh, they did for now, but everybody else dying, and Spamfest not a whole lot of hope for her.
TFCrew took a couple of okay trades there at the beginning. They did a lot of good damage, but then they kind of grouped up on the low ground, all took the same soldier damage and just got cleaned up. And I'm not sure what TFCrew could have done there other than not lose their demo man so early, because they lost all control of the height, and that's really what ended their mid dreams there. Split's going to be running the 7th class. It looks like TFCrew has just resigned themselves to holding last. They're not even on second, not even contesting it, which, I mean, they're 4 rounds down, and let me see, it was 20 minutes remaining in the half at the beginning of the half, so they have to get 4 or 5 rounds in the next 20 minutes. Defending last is not the way you're going to do that.
No, at this point, they're facing just losing by score differential of, well, not differential, but first to 5, which is what they're about to get to. There's the double donk onto Tatawa from Smitty, so that's a good start if you're trying to hold the last point with the loose cannon. So that's something, and that actually might buy enough time to get Spamfest up to 100%, 95 now, and it is actually the Kritzkrieg coming out. If they can get the medic, that's going to be so big. Sarcastic, Rocket Wizard both getting taken down. There's only 3 players left alive. Spamfest got the Uber charge, but I think it's too little too late. Capping that point, Midas just needs to dodge the sentry gun, and that will be the game. 5-0 for Black Swan.
Did Spamfest even Uber anybody in that, or was that a
I didn't see
rare
him
zero
I didn't
player
see
Uber?
Ubering anybody, no.
I don't think Spamfest actually got an Uber down on anybody. The positioning there was weird. The demo man was just joining from the combo. Nobody was ready. I don't think they were watching door 1 very carefully. They weren't ready for the Kritzkrieg. Which you have to think is a possibility in these situations. I know I predicted 6 Black to lose that, but I don't necessarily think 6 Black won that so much as every time TFCrew was in the driver's seat, they failed to make anything out of it whatsoever. And every time 6 Black was in the driver's seat, which was, I think, a roughly equal amount of time, they were able to convert. They were able to get the pick. They were able to restrain themselves long enough to make sure they got the Uber. And I just don't... I just didn't like the TFCrew showing that game where it seems their decision making power was asleep.
And so continues the streak of Black Swan beating TFCrew. That was the 4th time in a row, and that makes them 4 for 5 in invites. And that was also the most dominating match we've seen. We've never seen a 5-0 before. The closest they ever got was a 5-2. And definitely sad for TFCrew, considering they've kept such a consistent roster for so long, not being able to improve. Even when Black Swan makes all these roster changes, at least there's something to look back on for them. I mean, they should have a wealth of demos to review for the next time that they play Black Swan. This is the first time they met this season in Week 4, so they will be meeting each other again. And if TFCrew want to take a match this season, that's probably going to be their best shot. It'll be their rematch against Black Swan.
Yeah, you know, if Black Swan plays like that, which to be fair was really good. I'm kind of harping on how TFCrew lost the game, but at the same time, Therese only died 5 times. It seemed like Therese was untouchable in some of those fights, and like we said, Tatawa got a lot of kills, 28 and 10.
Yikes! It's not as good of a ratio as it was before, but it's still a ton of frags.
Right. Well, and those were two kind of slower rounds with not as many picks. So, yeah, if they play like that, you know, I can see them taking more games off of some of these lower tier invite teams. I'll have to go back and watch some of their demos and kind of see how they had played in the other games to kind of prepare for more matches. But that was some pretty tight play.
So after that match, TFCrew stays at the bottom of invite, going currently 0-8. Black Swan sitting at 1-6. That puts them in 7th, still above Omni 5 Esports, who I kind of think are dead. And yeah, if you didn't catch our other game happening on TFTV 1, the Ascent versus New Godflow game has finished. That was on Product. It was a 4-1 in favor of Ascent, beating the Patty team and crushing New Godflow's dreams. For not the first and probably not the last time this season. They are currently sitting in 6th in the overall standings, behind Mentality Esports in 5th, My Anime List in 4th, and the top 3, of course, Freotech, Ascent, and Velocity sitting at 7-0, 6-1, and 5-2 respectively. But overall, I think that's it for our cast, so I would like to thank everybody for joining us in this TFTV 2 match, if you were watching the whole time, or if you just hopped on over after that first game ended on TFTV 1. Thank you for stopping by. My name has been Cornpop. We have had Looster, the wonderful cameraman, on production, and drshdwpuppet. Thank you so much for joining me on the cast. Don't forget to check out all our links. If somebody types exclamation point PR in the chat, that'd be helpful. And we'll see you next time.